Hello, Scorpio. This is your extended reading. I have to say that, I thought this extended you would come up more prominently, right? But you come up with just the two last cards with the Knight of Cups, which actually, well, the extended, and I'm going to start from the finish because this is where you come up as the Knight of Cups. And well, the reading was ending here, right? And I couldn't really figure out what was the message of this Knight of Cups, because today they were coming through as a messenger of love. And I feel like this is confirmation to me that, both of you, them starting with the King of Cups and you coming through as this Knight of Cups, well, first of all, is emphasizing to me the difference perhaps of age or status or just family hierarchy, right? Between you and this father figure, well, and you maybe being their child or just someone younger, right? That they care a lot about you and you them. It's like this very reciprocal relationship and very beautiful, but it feels to me like, because as I said, their true essence, we saw in the first part, is the King of Swords. So this King of Cups is like a different territory for them, right? Which I feel like is your domain, right? It's like your specialty. You can access this psychic realm better than they can, right? Because they reside in this mental realm. But and perhaps this is the reason why we saw the first part, all of them, right? And you having this privileged perspective in order to access this place of wounding, this deep wounding that they held, that they couldn't access themselves because they weren't seeing, they just didn't have the tools to see, or the right perspective, right? But because you're coming through with the Knight of Cups, it's interesting because I feel like even though they're coming through gently and loving and softly, not wanting to preoccupy you, right? Because perhaps in their mind, they're the ones to carry for you, to care for you, right? Not the other way around. So, but I feel like you are the one coming through with the Nine of Cups. You are the one who can actually help them, right? To see, to find what is truly hurting them, right? That they need a long time to heal, right? But because this card was ending the extended, and I wasn't sure what was the message, right? Beside you pointing it out to them, where is this deep wound, right? And so I pulled another card, and it's interesting because, as I said, I'm doing this extended like from the finish to the beginning, because I feel like this is your side of the story. It's almost like this is the guidance for you, Scorpio. You're going to light them up, right? This is the message. You're bringing the sun to them. So it's like they have been through a lot. They have been through a really rough patch recently, or what I'm seeing with the cards that I'm going to get to in this extended, it's like throughout their lifetime, right? If not lifetimes, but it's like they have been through a lot of battles, right? And so you light them up. You're bringing, and I'm just having like all these goosebumps, but you're bringing light to them. It's almost like you're bringing them hope. You're bringing them joy. You're bringing them laughter, and you're bringing them love by being by their side, right? In this really hard moment. And I feel like you are not even aware that you are so bright, that you have this power in you that with your careful attention, or your, it's just like this, it's this beautiful relationship that you have, that they have always taken care of you, and now it seems like the roles are being flipped, and for the first time perhaps in your life, right, you are being given this opportunity to take care of them, and you're doing so effortlessly. You're doing so by just observing them and being open to hearing them and listen to their story, because this is what I'm sensing. It's like you're having this privileged position to become aware of everything that perhaps they haven't even shared, or they didn't have the courage to share with you, right? Because perhaps it was too heavy, right? But I feel like here is the guidance for you, Scorpio, that yes, you hold a lot of light within you, and you can light up their room. It's like when you come into the room, you light up the energy, you see? So just keep doing that. Just be by their side. Is like, it's the whole message. It's what I could just end here, right? Because this is the guidance for you specifically, but I'm going to tell the story that are coming from the other cards, right? Because we started from the finish, but in fact, this extended is starting with the Tower, right? And this is their tower. It feels like, so it's interesting because when this tower came through, it's almost like, it feels like their territory, their domain, and it feels, well, it's showing to me like a really beautiful home, right? A really safe home. It feels like a steady place, like a really, like a place that you feel comfortable in, right? And you're coming to them, it's what I'm sensing, right? Because I feel like this healing that they're going through is very home based. It's not like they're going somewhere. It's like they're nesting, right? They're going back to their home. So it's interesting because what I'm seeing, it's like, because also, right, because they're coming with two kings, they could be very abundant. Like they could have like a very wealthy lifestyle, like a very, it's what I'm sensing with this tower is like they have a really beautiful home, right? A place where for you, Scorpio, maybe you, when they're asking for their help, asking for their guidance, or just you resting there, right? You went there to rest. And so now that the tables are turning and the roles are flipping, it's like they're retreating inside their home where you looked after retreat, right? When you need it. And now you're going there to treat them or to keep company to them, right? And it's beautiful because I feel like this safe place, right, their home, is this, well, it feels like a fortress to me. Like this tower today is feeling like a fortress, like a place where both of you feel safe, right? And I don't mean only the physical place. It's like when you two are close to each other, you provide this safety net to each other, right? And it's beautiful because I feel like in this safe place, just by being there, by giving them space to rest and heal, it's like they are telling their stories to you. It's like they're telling the story of their lifetime to you, and things perhaps that you didn't even imagine, or things that they never shared with you before, right? So it feels like a very protective place for very intimate conversations, right? And I feel like, because as I said, by sensing the initial improvements in their health, in their body, in their state of mind, right? I feel like they are, well, they are improving and they are feeling compelled to share more, right? Because as I said, their essence is the King of Swords, so their nature is to communicate themselves, right? So by just being there, Scorpio, you're giving them space for them to speak. And it's beautiful because it's a beautiful story that they have got. Like with these three cards, it's talking about their golden age. It's like their golden days, right? So we have the Six of Wands, the Chariot, and the Eight of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is like they have been through maybe battles or situations or events in their life that they were very successful, and not only like a personal success, like an individual success. What I was getting through this Eight of Wands, it's like, so the two words that I got from this was standing ovation. So I feel like their victory, in a sense, that they very proudly, proudly, I don't know if that's the way to say it, with a lot of pride. That's what I mean. So with a lot of pride is what I'm seeing with the Chariot. It's almost like they were bringing victory to many people, right? What I'm seeing with the Eight of Wands today is a crowd, like a group or a family, right? Or employees, perhaps, or team members, right? But it's almost like they were the ones who actually, with the World card coming next, so I'm going to hold it like this. So with their adventure around the world, like many adventures is what I'm getting. It's like they have been places that you didn't even know they went, right? And they did a lot of things, like because of all of these wands, right? And the Chariot, it feels like very bold moves, very risky adventures actually, but they were always victorious. They were always successful. It's almost like their victory was never their own. You see, like they shared with many people is what I'm seeing. It's almost like they always, and oh, this is so beautiful, because what I'm seeing now with the World and the Chariot is like they always came back bearing gifts. It's like from their trips, from, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. It's like whenever they went, and maybe they stayed for a long time, right? But they always came back with gifts from these particular places or exotic places that they went. And so they shared their gifts, right? Their victories with a lot of people. And so this is them telling you this, right? And because we have, well, the Eight of Wands, the World, and then following the World, we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like, well, remember, as I said, I got the standing ovation from this card. So whoever was greeting this one back from their trip, right? Back from their adventures, they were so happy to see them, but they didn't really know all that went through, all that they went through, right? All that was really happening, because what I'm seeing with the Eight of Swords is like, and because they are really good with words, right? They know how to communicate really well. So this standing ovation, it's not applauding only. It feels like they are this audience that really listen to this one, right? So, you know, this one, it seems like they were always telling stories from their adventures, you see? But how they told them with the Eight of Swords, it's almost like they cut the hard parts. It's almost like they were only seeing the good. They were only seeing the positive. It's almost like they were only showing the victory behind the tough battles, right? With the Chariot. And so perhaps they were someone throughout their life that was really cared for, right? Not cared for, but admired. That's the word. They were admired, right, by these ones because of the stories that they told from their trips, from their adventures, right? But it's like they were holding back the rough patches, which I feel like now with this card, they're opening up for the first time for you, Scorpio, because I feel like it's just a one-on-one personal conversation. There are not many people there anymore, right? And it's beautiful because I feel like this is part of the healing, actually, because, you know, this is you here, as I said. So this is where you are now the one listening, and maybe they are remembering. Maybe they are remembering how they told their stories so many times for the people who admired them for this, or for their victory, right? Or for their accomplishments. But now that they're retelling the story just for you here, like, who is bringing them light, it's like you're not only lightening the mood or lightening their atmosphere, right? Or lightening the room. It's like you're shining a light into the way that they have been telling the story of their lives. You see what I mean? So by doing so, they are seeing things from a different perspective themselves, of their own life story. You see? And so this is part of the healing, and this is actually so, it's profound because I feel like you're just listening, but you're listening with such care, with such love, with such light that I don't feel like you're aware of the amount of light that you're bringing to this person, but by listening to them, you are helping them heal. And so let's see what the astrological runes have to say or have to add about this. So as a final guidance for you, Scorpio, this is so beautiful. This is interesting, actually. These runes recently, I have to say, they have come up with different meanings from the astrological point of view, which, you know, the astrological runes are, I made for that purpose. But, well, so today, this rune is representing Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius. And besides we being in this transition into the age of Aquarius, right, it feels to me like it's very liberating, it's very freeing. It's like, it's by you listening, right, you're freeing them up from the narratives that they perhaps have told their entire life, right? But what I was sensing with this rune today, with these waves, because, you know, Aquarius is an air sign, but it's the water bearer, right? So it carries the water. And I feel like this is what you're doing for them. It's like you're carrying their water. You're bringing them this light because you're shining this light on this deep wounding, right? That is not in the mental realm, or by communicating that they would heal. That's part of it. But truly, what is healing, because you're going deep enough in this water realm, which is your own territory, right? And you're providing them with this new perspective, right? With this light, to see their heart, their emotional body, and how it was affected by how they told the stories of their life, right? So what I was also getting here as a final guidance for you, Scorpio, with this Aquarius rune is like your presence is like a lullaby to them. I heard lullaby. So it's almost like you're lulling them just by letting them speak freely, right? So this is so beautiful. I feel like you have a presence that is helping them speed up this healing process, although yes, it will take time, but you are part of this process, right? So I hope it was insightful for you in some way. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.